Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. This, of course, is the podcast that is made to help more agents become top producers in their desired market anywhere in the country. We also help team leaders and brokers develop more top producers in their organizations anywhere in the country as well. We are powered on the local level by Tampa Bay Real Producers franchise here in the beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida market. Hanging out right now in the studio on the corner of Kennedy and West Shore. And in the local market, we feature the top 500 producing agents in Tampa Bay. And so one of those people who was just recently featured is our guest here today. That's Christopher Schaefer II. Got official there with the name, my man. So
Thank you, sir.
It's good to have you here in studio. Chris, how are you?
It's a pleasure. I'm great. I'm excited for the holidays. Can't wait to roll into the new year strong.
It is that season, man. The holidays are
Yes, sir.
upon us. There's no doubt.
Tis the season.
If Chris looks familiar, it wasn't that long ago that we just had Chris featured in the Tampa Bay Real Producers magazine, which you can check out at tampabayrealproducers.com. But we'll start a little bit with your background. So for people who might not have seen that feature yet, did you grow up in Tampa? If not, how'd you get here? And how'd you get interested in real estate?
No, so I mean, I like to tell people that, everything I learned in New York, but I spent the better half of my life in Tampa.
Gotcha.
So originally grew up on Long Island, Suffolk County. And then, my mom had quite a few brothers and sisters, 10. So every single year we would...
Like my family.
Yep. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So every single year we would snowbird and go visit, half of the family in Florida.
Yep.
And just, come time of college, I was like, well, where do I want to go to college? And I was like, why don't I pick where I used to vacation? So you
guys used to come to Tampa a lot?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we would fly into Tampa, we would tour around it, go to Busch Gardens, go to Orlando, but most of the time we spent out at the beaches because they lived in St. Pete.
Gotcha.
So
that's a common thing for a lot of New Yorkers, I would think.
Yep, absolutely. So when they had the college day, the fair with all the tents and everything.
Yeah.
I was walking through all of them, and they had Hofstra, Princeton, Harvard, all these good old boy schools. And that's, my stepfather, he went to Cornell.
Okay.
And we finally got to the last one, and there was this tent set up, and it had a big, beautiful beach backdrop with a couple of fake palm trees.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
Yeah. And it said University of Tampa.
Yeah.
And it basically,
they are a genius when it comes to marketing into the Northeast, don't they?
Of course.
I also went to UT, for those of you who don't know, but I remember I heard about UT because they were sending postcards and direct mail, those beautiful palm tree features that they were sending to my house in the middle of the winter, of course.
Yeah, it was.
They were smart.
It was hard to say no.
Yes.
So
totally. I came down and visited, and I fell in love pretty quickly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. So I convinced my parents to let me tour there because obviously we had family. They were trying to keep me in Long Island. My stepfather wanted me to go to Princeton or Harvard, something along those lines. But, I was just...
These low-grade schools, I mean.
Lowbrow. So I was a scholar athlete, so I pretty much had pick of the litter.
Nice.
So I only applied to one,
Baseball,
though.
right?
No, Army RTC.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I only applied to University of Tampa. And I got instant decision the same day that I toured with my family. Stopped by the Army RTC building, filled out a packet, got a 3-year scholarship, and then halfway through the first semester, they took care of my second semester.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah,
Did you end up serving at all?
I didn't. I had an unfortunate accident that had me discharged.
Got it. Okay. And then, once you graduated, what was your major at school?
So it was allied health with a concentration of pre-med.
Got it.
And then
perfect for real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. And military science, so the strategy portion helped me.
So it doesn't sound like you had much of a thought process that you were going to do anything in real estate, at least while you were in school.
No.
And then you got out, and what happened from there?
So I had a nightlife and event marketing company called Legacy.
Yeah.
That, was pretty successful, and it made it very difficult for me to want to pursue any corporate 9-to-5 jobs because I was already my own boss. I was managing over 100 independent contractors, hosting events, and it was kind of just fate. It just happened. You know what I mean? And at that time, it was when
Was that something you started in school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was kind of by accident because I used to just help out some of my friends with house parties, and then they just got so
Seems
big.
like a fun business to have while you're in college.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
It was very fun indeed.
I was the social chair for PiCap when I was in the Greek life there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I didn't do it at the professional level that you obviously did, but I had my share of party planning and throwing. That was a lot of fun back in those days.
PiCap was a big supporter of Legacy back in the day. Kappa Sig was pretty much our host fraternity that helped us really launch some parties.
Yeah.
So the recession happened, and all my medical people in my family, my uncle, my mom's twin sister's husband is a doctor, and he was telling me, he's like, I just wouldn't do med school right now with the malpractice. That was when a lot of the doctors were getting sued and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was trying to go to PA school, and that was a brand new position. And then Forbes magazine named it, the second most prestigious job in the country in medicine compared to a doctor. You could do almost everything a doctor can, but without all the liability. It was impossible to get into those schools. So I just kept on riding Legacy.
Interesting. So how long did you have that business?
I still have it, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We still host the Vegas style pool parties at the Seminole Hard Rock.
That's awesome. So do you work with like Kevin with your brokerage or any other brokerages on like contracting out your services for some of the parties and events that agents do and brokers do?
If I had time, I would.
Yeah.
COVID changed that. So real estate became 90% of my business, and Legacy is still a big part of my life, and we're planning on.
You have a staff, it sounds like, that help run that.
I have a business partner, and we have a couple of people that we're working with to relaunch the company.
Okay. So how did the transition happen from Legacy to you getting introduced to real estate?
So Kevin ended up being my first landlord out of college.
Really?
And that's how we met.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So he recruited you, huh?
Yeah. And then he came out to a couple of my events, and he told me one day, he's like, you should really get your real estate license. And, at the time, it didn't really resonate with me, you know what I mean? Because Legacy was so big.
Yeah.
We were hosting events with thousands of people. All of our shows were sold out. We brought the Day Glow, the Life and Color, the paint parties. We did New Year's Eve at the convention center with over 5,000 people. We did an event at the Tampa Bay Times Forum at the time on the Bud Light party deck with over 3,000 people for Halloween, our Temptation Halloween party.
Wow.
So it was kind of tough to listen to anybody else who was like, hey, you should just dive face first into this other career.
Yeah, no doubt. What got you appealing? What was it that attracted you about it?
Well, you know what it was? Kevin started coming out to my events, and we just started talking more and more, and he was telling me about investments and residual income. And, with Legacy, obviously it's a large investment for these huge parties. New Year's Eve at the convention center was almost $100,000.
Sure.
And if that flops, let's say the weather's bad or a hurricane's coming or something, like.
No, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
We throw a lot of events with real producers, nothing to that level.
Sure.
But I mean, there's risk involved.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of money on our event programs too.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not a gambler, but I'll take calculated risks that I'm pretty sure I can win.
Sure, for no doubt.
So, just Kevin and I became friends over the years, and.
What year did you get licensed again?
It's been 11 years now. So
Okay.
I think it was 2013 or 14.
Got it. And so when you did get licensed, and you've been with Kevin now 11 years, it sounds like.
The entire time.
You've been the whole time, which is great. Shows that culture that he's built there too, with the family culture that you guys have, I know. By the way, the brokerage, if I didn't mention it earlier, is Impact Realty Tampa Bay. Shout out to Kevin Byrne. He's a friend and a partner of Real Producers. We appreciate his support. He actually came out to our Olympics not that long ago and competed.
Yeah, I saw that.
So did well. Team held their own. Didn't win a gold or bronze for that matter, but they did compete, and they did well for the tournament. But what was it like for you, Chris, that first year looking back when you first got licensed and you were trying in this new business now? Did you lean into a lot of the relationships that you had through the event company? Is that where things got started, or did they provide leads? How did that shake out?
It was a difficult transition because myself, like so many other people, when you think of real estate agents, you think of opening doors for people and doing open houses, and then the business just comes to you.
Sure.
So
it's that easy, right?
And it's that easy.
Yeah.
So I really didn't know how much work and effort that it was actually going to take to build up the clientele. And to be honest, a lot of people respected me in the nightlife and entertainment industry, but I believe the issue lied there is it's like, do you want somebody handling potentially the most important financial decision in your life that was just hosting an event until 3 a.m?
Right.
So it took a good amount of broadcasting that I was actually a real estate professional, and I was planning on making that my future career, for people to start trusting me. I had to sell a lot of houses to other people before my friends, family, and referrals, from my friends and family decided,
Were you self-generating as far as your own clientele from the beginning, or working with Kevin, was it set up like a lead machine in a way where you had leads to work with there to get started?
I mean, Kevin was definitely a springboard. He was firing any of the calls that came to the brokerage like directly to me. I attribute a lot of my success to Kevin, because at the time, they had a different business model for the brokerage. It was a lot smaller. Kevin, he was, he basically had, an insane portfolio of a couple hundred properties. So I don't think the need was to grow the brokerage that big at that point.
Yep.
So it was more about quality over quantity.
Yep.
So I got hands-on training from him, and I helped him out with a lot of his rentals. So that kind of kickstarted, and I learned a lot very quick.
What types of clients? I know that now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys, do you specialize in like new construction or working with builders?
So
I felt like I felt that way, but maybe I'm wrong.
So, to be honest, I, all shapes, all sizes, all colors. I'll work with first-time home buyers. I'll work with, high-income earners who are looking for tax savings, doing short-term rentals, 1031 exchanges. I pretty much, you name it, and I do it. As of recently, I've done quite a bit of luxury. It's kind of just spitballed, you know what I mean?
Has that evolved over the years just based on who you've connected to and the relationships?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's obviously, real estate is very relationship based. And I always like to be out there, and just the more I put myself out there, I think it's just been coming back as people see I do good business.
What's been your best year? Does a year stand out to you as from a volume standpoint or just overall?
I mean,
do you remember what your best year was?
I think my big coming out party, as like a big real estate agent was COVID.
Okay.
Back in 2020, 2021.
Sure. It's a crazy time for a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was pretty insane.
Did you have a lot of your New York crowd coming down? And
I did.
Get the heck out of there.
Yeah. I sold about 50 properties to people from the, New England and the tri-state area. And some of those people I didn't meet in person until we got to the closing table. Everything was FaceTime. But, that was what, brought me over the hill, because obviously during COVID, can't throw parties.
Right.
And I wasn't going to be like some of these other companies that were going to jeopardize
virtual
people's
parties on Zoom don't really have the same feel to them, do they?
No, they certainly don't. And, when everything popped off, everyone's like, wow, this is like a real serious pandemic issue. And, I was thinking to myself, well, I really need to take this opportunity, by the horns and really run with it. So I remember back in the day, I did a video, and it was basically just me putting my sunglasses and my mask on, and then I just ran through the house, and I said, they won't, but I will. And I meant, I'll show you houses.
That's cool.
And then all of a sudden my phone just blew up.
That's wild. It's funny how just like one good video like that can make all the difference, isn't it?
Yep,
that
absolutely.
So your focus today, is it still what you would say, like, residential, retail, real estate, buyers and sellers? Do you work at all with investors? Is that part of your current game plan?
I do. I actually have a pretty substantial investor pool right now that I'm working with.
Flippers or home, like landlord style, or what type of investors?
I've never really had a lot of flippers. Typically people, even let's just say that you're firmly ingrained into remodeling houses and selling them.
Yeah.
Because I hate the term flipping unless it is, just, throw some paint on it and throw it back on the market. But, let's just say they're not doing well in their industry. They'll ask me how I can reposition or reforge their company to make, successful money in real estate. Because listen, at the end of the day, the whole scheme of real estate constantly, changes.
Sure.
It has its ebbs
Strategies
and
have to change.
Yeah,
based on market conditions.
You have
and
to
other
evolve
things.
and adapt.
Yeah.
So, but the main thing I'm doing right now is a lot of spec homes with developers, luxury. We have 12 townhomes in the Heights that are going to be going in the ground. So we're
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I had the pleasure of going to Chris's house, which is a beautiful place, by the way. You did a great job in that build out, and met his beautiful girlfriend as well. She might be watching. I don't know. Shout out to you. I know she's also from New York, but it was neat to see. You're living in luxury, my friend.
Thank you, bro.
You're doing well over there.
Talk about COVID. That was another, that was like a lottery ticket. I was ready to build my house because the first property I bought was a townhome that, Kevin helped coach me up with, and, because I wanted luxury right out the rip. And the first thing I said when I came into his office, I was like, hey, I want to build an investment portfolio like you. He's like, well, do you own your own house?
Right.
He's like,
let's start there.
That's your first best investment.
Yeah.
And it ended up being because, I bought it, I remodeled it, I did cash out refinances, and I used that equity to buy more and more and more.
Yeah.
So, realistically, your primary residence is a huge platform for you to,
Totally.
You only need 3% down, conventional 3.5%, and there's a lot of bank programs that are doing 0.
Without a doubt.
So,
have you been building that portfolio now? Do you have a rental portfolio at this point?
Yeah, so I own roughly 15 properties.
Nice.
Are they
single family homes or multifamily?
Quite a few single family homes. Kevin taught me the Burr method. And then for anybody who doesn't know, you buy it, rehab, rent it, refinance, repeat. So I did that.
You manage them all yourself?
No. Actually, I use Valencia Property Management through Kevin. They've been fantastic. They're like family to me. They get the job done. They're great.
That's awesome.
So, and it's if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. So we've had people on this show who have followed the same method, and I think obviously it works, and it's a great way to build wealth over time as you're building equity in these different properties, and hopefully cash flowing well on each one as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then I've also had people here who have done the multifamily approach and looking for things in that minimum of 5 units, 10 unit, 15, into apartment buildings at times. Do you have an interest in that side of things too? Or
so, I've been talking to a lot of my developer partners, because it does get difficult at time managing so many doors that are not connected to each other.
Yeah.
But it does mitigate risk. So, if you don't
vacant, right.
Yeah, if you don't have all your chips in one basket, let's just say, I sell all my properties, blank slate. I go buy a mini hotel at the beach. Obviously that would be a dream for a lot of people. Hurricane comes through and,
now
takes,
what?
Yeah. Now what? Yeah.
And it's not like that hasn't happened anytime over the last couple of years.
So, I can't, it doesn't really ring a bell. Not one,
it makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because depending on who you talk to, there will be other people who would argue that, when you have 15 single family homes and you have one vacancy, it's 100% vacant, right?
Yeah.
Versus a building with 15 units, one vacancy doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, it's like, so it's always weighing these different factors and what makes the most sense. But I think at the end of the day, the old adage is you can't go wrong by just buying real estate and waiting, right? The most successful investors in the world, I think, would subscribe to that philosophy.
Yeah, and it's it's just like the stock market, and I hate to keep on reverting back to the pandemic time, but that's when I thought I was going to become a big stock investor too.
Yeah.
Because it was so easy then.
Yeah.
But it's it's the same thing in real estate as it is with stocks. You know what I mean? You buy the dips, you sell at the highs.
Yeah.
And you hold the property, you don't lose money until you sell it.
Yep.
So if you think you need to sell the property, just get rid of the the monthly overhead expense and just rent it out.
Yeah.
And then you have an asset.
And hopefully if you bought it at the right price, then you're still going to cash flow, right?
100%.
At the end of the day. When you, as from an investor mentality, do you analyze your investment potential as, or properties as like cash flow? Would you say you're more of a cash flow investor or more of like the equity longer term buy and hold?
So I try to look at, I don't like just having a very one-dimensional model for my properties. For the original portfolio that I put together for the Burr method, that was just, it was, buy single family block construction homes, duplexes, triplexes, quads, and then just, rehab rehab them, and then rent them out and stabilize them, and then pull the money out, do it again.
Yep.
So, it's pretty difficult to do that model right now just because of interest rates and insurance and taxes. So now
and making it cash flow. You mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now what I've been doing is I've been looking at, a different perspective. I've been buying slightly on speculation, in areas that are of growth, hence, my house. The Heights weren't always the most desirable place. When, when you and I were in college, they said, don't go to the Heights.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I took a leap of faith and,
it's a booming area now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense in the world. So there's where some would call it still speculation, but it's smart. It's educated. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have a little bit of more insight as real estate professionals, and obviously the more you dive into it, do your research, then you can help your clients even more as well with their investments.
It's interesting because I read Rich Dad Poor Dad many years ago, like many people who get into the real estate investment world, and that's what kind of got me excited about real estate investing, and I love these types of conversations about investments. I personally never got as much into the realtor world that you've been in, and obviously have thrived in. And obviously now that's what my whole business revolves around, is trying to support and highlight you guys for the success and the hard work that you bring to the table. Do you have any preference one way or the other about what you do as a realtor compared to your investment side of things? Does either one way or the other, wet your whistle more on the types of conversations you love to have or who you love to serve at the highest level, or do you just think they complement each other really well?
I think they complement each other, and the thing is, I'll again, every single person investment could be their biggest financial opportunity. Yeah. So I treat a $250,000 one-bedroom condo the same as I would a $2.5 million luxury modern home.
Yeah.
So, but as far as my clients are concerned, any investment strategy, whether it be short-term rental, BRRRR method, I try to do it so that I could show my clients how to do it.
Yep.
And then as far as rentals, let's say I want to sell you a long-term or short-term rental. I'm going to set you up with all the partners because let's face it, at the end of the day, we're not just real estate agents anymore. Sure. We're not just opening doors and doing open houses. We're real estate ambassadors. We need to know every.
You have to have the whole network.
Exactly.
Especially when you're working with investors.
100%.
Yeah.
So a lot of people can go and look at, my numbers for the year, and they're going to see a lot of little numbers. And because when I sell my clients an investment, I will even do, lease out their property for them just to guarantee that, hey.
Well, I wouldn't call, what did you do last year? Over 25 million? Does that sound right to you? That's the number I had.
Yes, sir.
So I don't think that's little.
Well, I just meant there's
on a per transaction basis.
Yeah, there's a lot of little line items there.
Yeah.
And that's because I want to ensure and guarantee that I do good business. If I sell you something, I want to make sure that the rent that I told you it's going to get, we're going to rent it for that. I'm going to give it to you. Yeah.
I get it. No, it makes a lot of sense in the world. What's your favorite part of real estate, would you say, if you had to pinpoint one thing?
Honestly, it's just pulling off the impossible sometimes. You know what I mean?
Making the deals work when they might be falling apart with someone else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I thrive in that type of energy. So
I get it.
If somebody says it can't be done, then I want to do it even more.
So are you ready to give it all up and go back to the medical side now? Is that the next step? Dr. Schaefer is going to be the next step, or what?
So my girlfriend, she's a CRNA.
Okay.
And, she went to...
There you go. You got your medical itch right there.
Yeah. And I thought, listen, I respect everything. She's Superwoman, you know what I mean? So I respect everything she does. But I don't think I'm built that way anymore.
Well, I think you're doing pretty well with the real estate game. You might want to lead into it a little bit more.
Thank you,
Stick it out a couple more years, Chris, and see how it shakes out for you.
Appreciate that, Don.
I have a future in the game.
Thank you, sir.
And that's kind of my next question is, when you think about now, I always love this time of year. We have a whole new year ahead of us going into 2026. And this is usually the time that people set new goals and they think about what they're most excited about for the new year. Where does your vision take you? What are you thinking about now? What are you trying to create for next year and even beyond if you have a bigger vision than that?
Sure. So short-term goals, obviously I really want to kill Q1 for sure, especially in this market. It's a tough market. I know a lot of people, kind of follow what I'm doing on social media, and, it's a really difficult market. Let's face it. Buyers think it's a buyer's market. Sellers think it's a seller's market, and, if I can figure out how to do better numbers than last year, then hopefully it'll inspire new people. As far as intermediate goals, I want to get more into real estate development. I did dive into 2 new investments. You just had Jeff Beggins on here with Century 21. So I invested in the Marriott Beachmaker.
Sure.
So
we
I
talked about that.
Yeah. So I bought one of those condos.
Nice.
But again, if I buy, if I'm trying to sell somebody something, I buy it too.
Right.
So
I get it.
That was something I felt very passionate about. I mean, Marriott
seems like it's going to be a great project.
Yeah, we're all very excited for it. So after I purchased one of those, I sold 6 more units there, and then I just bought land on the Hillsborough River. So I'm going to develop my my next house.
Very cool.
So, but the goal would be to be like my developer investors. I want to start buying lots, and getting into that realm.
And building single family, you think, or building multifamily?
Both.
I'd
be interested in both.
Depending on what makes sense.
Yeah, it just depends. You never know what you're going to get the good deal on. I could be hyper focused on wanting to get, a single family lot at a good price. Then all of a sudden I could get a triple lot with RM zoning, and then I could put, a quad, 4 townhomes on it. Yeah. So, whatever.
Do you do anything outside of Tampa Bay, or is it all pretty local?
So I've sold properties all the way up to Ocala, to Orlando, to Fort Myers. I was just at my newest listing that's going to be in Lakewood Ranch, $2.55 million, and just outside of Bradenton. So cool. I do business pretty much all over.
Got it. Okay. On the personal side, for people to get a little bit more insight on that, for if they didn't get a chance to check out the article yet, we've already mentioned your girlfriend a few times, so I know that she's important to you right now in your life, and I'm sure she keeps you on the straight and narrow, which is great.
Yeah, she certainly does.
What do you guys love to do for fun? What keeps you excited with hobbies and interests?
We're definitely foodies and travel junkies. You know,
favorite place you've been?
We just had this unreal European trip this past summer.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, she had never been to Europe, so I wanted to take her to a bunch of kind of exotic places.
Yeah.
One of the people I was with last night, Mark Christakis, he kept on telling me about Rhodes, and if anyone doesn't know, that's in Greece. It's one of the bigger islands, and so it's a big old castle city. And he had been hyping it up, and we've been talking about it, and I was like desperately trying to fit that into the itinerary. And we went to Amalfi Coast, we went to London, we went to Sardinia, which was absolutely stunning. That water is unreal. But the backhand half of the trip, the roads was just absolutely incredible. The whole downtown was a castle. Just having fun with Mark, and his wife's family's multiple generations there. So it was just cool. We really felt like
he's got roots out there. Okay.
Yeah, we really felt like we were part of the family, and it was just an amazing time. And
you went with him?
No, we met there.
You met? Okay.
Yeah, we went from Sardinia to Rhodes. And then we spent the day, just kind of exploring the old town. And then we met him in Lindos.
That's cool.
And then after that, we went to Cappadocia, as most people know it. And we did the hot air ballooning and everything. So
I've never been to Greece. It's on my list. I look forward to, since we started having the kids, it's been a little bit harder to travel that far with the little ones.
Yeah, I can
years
only
before
imagine.
we had kids, we spent a little bit of time in Prague, which I loved.
Prague is beautiful.
It was a gorgeous city. We did go to London as well. I loved Italy. I spent some time in Rome and some time in Florence.
Yep.
But I never got to Greece, so it's on my list one of these days. I look forward to it. I also spent some time in Ireland, which I really liked as well.
I heard that's beautiful as well.
Yeah.
So most people think about Mykonos and Santorini.
Yeah.
You got to explore a lot of the other places.
Yeah, I'm sure. I would like to go to Athens just because I'm a history guy, so I would love to see the history component.
If you loved Rome, you'll love Athens.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I actually liked Florence. I would say even better than Rome, even though Rome has the history for sure.
That's one of the cities I haven't been to yet.
It just felt like I was really in Italy.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
A really neat
they say
experience.
That's the most authentic feel. I've been to Milan, Rome, Amalfi Coast, Naples. I've been to Sardinia, Sicily, so I've been quite a few places, but
Very cool.
Everyone keeps on telling me I got to go to Florence.
So what's your travel routine now? Do you take like one big trip a year? Do you space it out a little bit more every couple of months? How do you look at that?
I mean, when I was single, obviously it was a lot easier to travel, more often. But now, I try to take more impactful, meaningful trips. you know, and it's exciting to explore the world with my partner. You know what I mean? So,
Of course.
going.
You guys want a family?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of these days, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, when the timing is right.
Of
you know what
course.
I mean? Or when it's not. You know, when it happens, it happens.
We'll
right?
figure it out one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. It's exciting to see the journey that you've been on and the success that you've been having. So it's cool to see. Couple quick things, I guess we'll go into here. What if you had to pick out one book or author or seminar maybe that you've ever read or attended an event or even a podcast that you feel like has made an impact on you personally or professionally? Does anything come to mind?
You know, it's really tough. I've never been into, you know, motivational speakers. And you know, unfortunately, I haven't read too many books besides the ones that were required in school. I'm a big movie and TV guy, so I
What's
get
your favorite movie.
There's so many I like, but I would say Pearl Harbor is one of my favorites.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, you know,
You haven't heard that one yet, right, Rob? I don't think we've had a Pearl Harbor shout out yet.
The closest to that was, I would say, Bobby Polini with Braveheart.
Braveheart is a great
That's a
one.
classic,
Yeah,
too.
I mean, Mel Gibson's one of my favorites.
Have you seen Midway?
Yeah, that was fantastic
too.
too. It was a super cool story, and it's crazy that nobody
don't
knows
know about
about
it.
the guy
I know.
Dick.
I know it.
And meanwhile, he took out 2 carriers.
Yeah, no, it is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
No doubt. I love that history stuff, like I said. So when I think I saw like at some museum or something, they had like versions of the true Midway story, and then it was that got me recognizing the story, and then obviously the movie was kind of cool how they adapted everything from there. But yeah.
Most of my family's German, so I'm big into the, you know, World War I, World War II, that era.
Yeah, I'm
is
actually
just,
German as well. Half
Okay.
German.
Yep.
Yep. I've never been to Germany though. It's another thing on the list.
Oktoberfest I went to, and
Did you really?
Munich. Yep.
That's cool.
I've been to Berlin. Oktoberfest is unreal.
I'd love to go out there. I was almost going to go out there 2 years ago when I'm from the New York area as well, so I'm a Giants football fan.
Oh yeah, same.
And so when they were playing in Germany, and they had a horrible loss to Carolina Panthers, I think it was. But they were playing in Berlin. No, not Berlin. They were playing in Munich. And so I was going to fly out and try to go to the game in Munich, and it was during the Oktoberfest time. And so that was but it just didn't work out with family stuff that we had and whatever. We couldn't make it happen.
Yeah.
But I would love to do that sometime, like see an NFL game out there maybe. And,
it would be cool.
That'd be the right time to be able
Especially
to pull it
the
off.
Giants. I'm a huge Giants fan too.
Yeah.
It's been a little painful over the years. But
it's been a rough decade, dude.
Yeah.
Very rough decade.
Well, I mean, listen. At the end of the day, you could be fans of a team that never won a Super Bowl.
That's true. We do have 4.
We had 2.
We do have 4. So
Two
I can't
incredible
complain too
ones
much.
with Eli against the undefeated Patriots.
I was at the first one.
Were you?
Yeah, I was there in Arizona.
That's insane.
It was amazing. I was on the 40-yard line, about 25 rows up when the helmet catch happened.
That was
Plaxico in the corner. I was there for all of that. Yeah.
I was at a big watch party for that, and it was predominantly Patriots fans.
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, we're just gonna turn it off. It's over."
Yep.
And then I turned the TV back on, and it was a catch.
Oh yeah.
So,
no doubt.
yeah,
It was definitely a catch. I went with 2 buddies. One is a Patriots fan and one was a Giant fan.
Yeah.
So me and my Giant fan buddy were sitting in one section of the stadium, and my Patriot buddy was on the opposite side of the stadium.
So you were just.
We actually scalped tickets. We flew out there with no tickets.
Oh wow.
And we ended up buying them like the day of the game.
That's incredible.
And we had a great deal.
Hilarious is Tom Brady's absolute loathing
Of Eli Manning.
Oh yeah. But he's the only guy who can one up him with his
I know
jokes.
it, and he does it too.
And
Every
it's fun-
chance he
it's-
gets.
yeah,
every
it's-
chance he
yeah,
gets.
oh, yeah.
You've seen those.
Sounds like a
You've seen
good
those
game.
raps that Eli's done. They're always like reels that he throws out there of like rapping about Tom Brady.
Yeah, no,
He's so funny and
ridiculous.
white and slow with his raps, but it's always about Tom Brady. You know?
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. It's
he is.
ridiculous.
He's great. He's great.
I saw one the other day where they were both in like a jersey signing, and there was a Eli Manning jersey slid across Tom Brady's signing panel.
Yeah.
And he wrote,
Yeah.
and then he goes to Eli Manning, and when Eli Manning sees what was written on his jersey, he's like, "All right, good game."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I do like Jackson Dart though. I feel like we might have something.
He's
with
a
him.
stud.
We'll see what happens.
He's a stud.
They
And
need to
s-
figure
and
out the coach, and that's the next step here. But
Scadaboo.
hopefully Dart will turn things around here. I hope in the next couple of years.
Yeah, him
We'll
and
see.
Scadaboo, they remind me of all the frat boys of college when we.
I was here in Tampa when the Bucks won their their first Super Bowl. John Gruden leading it in
Against the
2002.
Raiders?
Yep,
Yeah.
and the Raiders. So I was living off I was high cap at the time, and I had a
Yep.
house off campus, and that was a blast. So I mean, I'm a Bucks fan as well. I became a Bucks fan when I moved here for college for UT.
It's hard not to be.
Yeah, of course. But that was a fun time when they won that first Super Bowl. I mean, this city was going crazy.
Yeah.
And Dale Mabry was shut down,
Yep.
partying that night, and we literally had a house with a massive Bucks flag that was as big as our whole house.
Oh, wow.
And we went out on the streets and hung out that night with a bunch of the people. We were literally throwing a toga party with our
Very cool.
fraternity and sister sorority that evening. And so it was a blast. It was good memories. And I remember being in Bucks in Raymond James when they brought the parade back and they brought the Super Bowl trophy in, and they had all the announcements, and we were close enough that we got to touch the trophy as they were walking it around.
Did they do a boat parade like they did with Tom?
No, that was just a COVID thing, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think they've ever done the boat parade before. I think that was the first time they've ever done it.
I think that's probably going to be the thing now.
Yeah, because it went well. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of good content.
Not so much for Tom. They had to carry him out,
I
but
know,
he's not used to partying with Tampa people.
No, that's true. It's funny when he was in New England, he was so buttoned up and like held back.
Conservative.
And he comes down here and he was like a completely different animal.
Well, it was cool seeing that side of him. And
the Gronk effect, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. He really put that team on his back after Jameis had just murdered us with the rifling all those interceptions and stuff. That was the year I bought my season tickets, and I got them for such a discount because they were
You still have season tickets?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they got a couple big games coming up against the Panthers, huh?
They do. I guess
turn this into a football podcast, but that's fine with me. I have no problem with that.
Tis the season, right?
Exactly right. Hopefully they play Carolina this weekend, I think, don't they?
They do.
Is that home or is that in Carolina?
That's in Carolina, and then the last game of the season is.
I'm hoping
Carolina
to bring my
home.
son. He's 8, and he's like a diehard Bucks fan now.
Okay.
He wants to watch all the Bucks games, and he hasn't been to a game yet. So I'm hoping to bring him to the last game of the year.
Okay. Well, we'll talk.
Game.
Maybe we have 6 tickets total between us.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no doubt. That'd be awesome.
one of my best friends, Casey, he's over in Guam right now. He's overseas, and he's been having me take care of his tickets for him.
Oh,
so
cool. Yeah, no
doubt. I would love to have
if you have 2 extras, we would love to go. That'd be great.
We have 2 extra.
That'd be perfect, man. All right, I guess we'll put a bow on our episode as we have to get you out there crushing real estate for the rest of your day. But we appreciate you being here today as a great guest. And
appreciate
so,
you.
2 last things. If someone wants to follow up with you, Chris, whether it's about investments, we've talked about a lot today, from the investment side to how you crushed it in getting things started, to obviously the way you think about the new construction element. And so there was different pieces here that if someone resonates with and wants to just follow up with you and talk about things that you're doing, what's the best way for someone to contact you?
I'm big on Instagram. This, gives you a perspective, and you can see what my day-to-day is like in my portfolio. So at Mr. Sal Tampa, super easy.
That's a good name.
Thank you.
I like it,
sir.
I like it. No
Thank
doubt.
you.
That's a good brand right there.
You can, if you're more of an email person, which some people are, if we want to start off like that, Chris at liveintampa.com. That's liveintampa.com. It's super easy as well.
Yep.
Or if you want to give me a call, 516, still have the New York area code.
I still got Connecticut 203, so
yes,
I can
sir.
relate.
297-8073.
There you go. We'll put that stuff in the description as well that gets posted. We'll end with this. So I always ask what I call the legacy question, to get you think a little deeper about the purpose of what you do, right? So you're sitting here many years from now and sitting on that rocking chair, and you and your beautiful wife, girlfriend/wife now at that time, and have how many kids, however many you want, and you're thinking about your legacy and what would be most important for you. What type of thoughts come to mind in terms of what you'd want to be the most remembered for?
Well, as far as my real estate career, that I've fulfilled all my friends and family and their friends and family real estate dreams and goals. And I just want to leave my legacy. So I just, eventually I want to, do a big development. And, like we were talking about before with the multifamily, eventually I'll conglomerate and, really leave my stamp on Tampa.
There you go. Look
Yes,
at
sir.
you, the real estate tycoon, right? The mogul, is that what
Yes,
they
sir.
say?
Yes, sir.
The Donald Trump of Tampa Bay when it comes to real estate moguls.
We love Donnie.
Not everybody does, but I'm with you.
It's an acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste.
At the bare minimum, you at least have to be entertained, whether you dislike him or
Entertaining
like
is very
him.
true.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
doubt
for
about
sure.
that.
Come on now.
One thing
you got to look at the
One thing
positive.
anybody can say is he's entertaining for sure.
Absolutely.
We'll put a wrap on the episode with a call to action and a challenge to the audience. So if you're watching live on YouTube or Facebook or listening in on any of the podcast platforms that we're on, we highly encourage you to take action on at least one thing that we talked about today here with Christopher Schaefer II, that will resonate with you, to allow you to capture the value from our conversation today. Maybe you liked our discussion about the investment world and the stuff that Christopher's involved with right now, the types of investors he's working with. Maybe that appeals to you as an agent who you might want to add some more of those types of people into your network and who you're working with. Maybe you want to build some of your own portfolio and you're thinking about the way that Christopher's done that, that he described here today. So maybe that's just a simple phone call to somebody like him or somebody else that can help you kind of guide. Christopher talked about his relationship with his broker, with Kevin Byrne, as a mentor in his life. And maybe that's something that might be missing for you, is finding out that person who can help, lead that process and help you get along. And we're willing to be a role there if we have to be as well. You can check us out, of course, at topproducersnation.com. We have online communities and courses and training and different coaching programs for agents to help them grow their individual business, but also as a team leader and a broker, we have workshops and programs for you to help you be more productive in running your teams and developing leaders in your organization. That's something we're passionate about with our Top Producers Nation program. So don't reach out, topproducersnation.com, but take action on at least one thing so you'll capture the value of our conversation today. And you can, of course, see us on our next episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. We'll see you later.